Hello, music fans! What's going on? Welcome back to last week's album. I'm Derek.
And I'm Kevin.
And before we go any further, let's kick things off the way we always do. Cheers, Kevin.
Cheers, Derek, and everyone drinking at home. I can only find a 16-ounce today, so it's going to be fun.
You're already in the lead, I guess you could say. All right, so this week we are reviewing Ethan John's debut solo album, If Not Now, Then When. Ethan Johns is an English-born musician, and he has been working as a producer for quite a while and has quite the resume under his belt, working with Ryan Adams on Heartbreaker and Gold, Kings of Leon, Youth and Young Manhood, and Aha, Shake Heartbreak, and Ray LaMontagne, Till the Sun Turns Black, Gossip in the Grain. So, Kevin, you know, that left me wondering, who produces the producer's album?
I don't know, Derek. Your mom?
Dude, his dad.
Oh, yeah, duh, his dad. Because your dad has an even better pedigree than you. He produced for the Rolling Stones, The Who, Eels, Eric Clapton, the Steve Miller Band. I mean, no pressure, Ethan. No pressure.
None at all. And with that being said, let's go straight to Sounds Like. Kevin, what do you think this sounds like?
I thought that if not now, then when sounds like the Eels meet Elvis Costello for a late night jam session. What do you think, Derek?
Oh, that's good. I have If Not Now, Then When sounds like as good a time as any for Tom Waits to hop into a time machine and not smoke cigarettes, because then that's what this would sound like. If that makes any sense at all. And, you know, I'm even guessing in writing that Tom Waits probably doesn't even smoke cigarettes and now look, you know, like even more of an ass. But
oh, he definitely does. He definitely does.
All right. Kids, don't smoke. All right, key tracks. Kevin, what do you got?
I have Morning Blues, The Turning, and Don't Reach Too Far. What about you, Derek?
Oh, those are good. I have Hello Sunshine, Morning Blues, and I'm going to save number 3 for later. I guess I'll kick things off with Hello Sunshine, which was the opening track. It starts very subtly with an even-paced, plucked guitar riff and John's clear baritone vocals. However, this builds slowly as other instruments and vocal harmonies are added on, which I thought was really highlighted by a very prominent harmonized right in a post-chorus. There were some faint electric and slide guitars, just kind of an understated but still really packed a good punch opening track for me. So it kicked off very well. What do you think on Morning Blues, Kevin?
I think Morning Blues is actually probably my favorite song on the album. It's this groovy, low-key blues number, obviously. Cymbal tapping drums, a really catchy bass line, and these mini guitar freakouts kind of between the verses. And then the second time they come around, they freak out even crazier, and it goes really big with them. And it was one of the few spontaneous moments on the album. I'm sure there were a lot that were spontaneous because, as I've read, he recorded this in a room with tons of friends, including Ryan Adams and other friends. But this was one where it really came across like they probably just made that up right this second, and it felt real and live. So I really dug that track for those reasons. What was your next key track, Derek?
Dude, it was Morning Blues, actually, for a lot of the same reasons. I really like how it opened up on that, you know, bluesy guitar riff, but it's almost just like he was just, fingering it with his left hand or whatever, and you're exactly right. Towards the end, it just explodes into a flurry of thrashing guitars and crashing drums. Really enjoyed it. Also one of my favorite tracks on the album, but also shared as a key track with you. So I'm going to kick it right back to you. What's your next key track?
The Turning. It goes in the complete opposite direction of upbeat and lively. It is down-tempo and spooky with these whirling effects, some spacey / tribal percussion, if you can imagine that. And then these barren piano throbs, some strings and more effects coming in the bridge, and it's this emotional ballad that comes to terms with our finiteness as humans, but it's not just haunting, it's also sort of hopeful, and there's a really good line that sort of sums it up. We all know the future, and the future knows us all, and everything and everyone must fall. The silence will be beautiful. So just a really nice, poetic, profound, simple song that's really pulls at the heartstrings. So yeah. What was your next key track, Derek?
You know, I actually had a tie for this. I just could not decide. I had on one hand Whip Poor Will, which is a more subtle, softer, much more acoustic guitar swaying song. And then on the other hand, Willow, once again, heavily dominated by acoustic guitars, although this time much more heavy percussion or drums. It was almost like just the complete opposite sound from Whip Poor Will, which was a track right before it. Whip Poor Will also featuring Ryan Adams, Laura Marling, and Danny Thompson. And, you know, and then you get to Willow, which I thought sounded like the Grateful Dead meets the Eels, which, you know, you alluded to earlier on your Sounds Like. So I like them both equally for number 3.
All right, well, my third is only one song, but it's Don't Reach Too Far, and from what I've read, it's the first single, and it is this banging Brit rock number, pounding drums, an organ that is on speed, or the organ player is on speed, jangly guitars, bumping bass, and a kick-ass harmonica solo. And if you're not tapping your foot by the end of this song, you're probably dead. Just a really kick-ass banging number right there. So check it out for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, that one would have been number 4C or something under my rating system there. All right, so let's go to best lyric. Mine actually came from Willow. As the weeping willow stoops and sweeps away the veil that shrouds my mind. Just once again, kind of what you're alluding to earlier, the sometimes very poetic and albeit brief at some points, just really hitting home with some of these lyrics. I really like that one with the imagery and, you know, also the other thingedness of this. So go.
Other thingedness. I think you should coin that phrase.
I couldn't find any better way to trail off there. Okay.
That was good. That was good. My best lyric is from The Turning, not the line I mentioned before, but a different one that says, "Time has left us standing, caught like sculpture in a moment in the fading sun, and the weather wears our faces down to nothing, just like we were when it all first began." On that song specifically, he ties these long lines, but delivers them very smoothly and quickly, and that one right there sort of encapsulates the song itself, which again is about being human and it all coming to an end, but it still has that hopeful turn to it. So really nice line of words there with other thinkedness.
I was just about to say the complete opposite of my string of words. All right, then, let's go to overall rating. Kevin, I gave this one a 4 out of 5. I thought it was a great debut album. He really covered a lot of different sounds. I thought, you know, ranging from that soft, more sparsely instrumented sound from Hello Sunshine, The Turning, as you mentioned, Whip Poor Will, to more heavily folk sounds of Red Rooster Blue or Rally. And then, as you mentioned, the No Holds Barred, just, you know, knockout, draw out rockers of Morning Blues and Don't Reach Too Far. You know, as I said, it was very difficult to even come up with top tracks just because all of them in their own ways were solid through and through.
Yeah, totally. I'm going to agree with you here and go with 4 out of 5 as well. Ethan Johns clearly proves that he's much more than a producer. He's also a crafty songwriter. As you mentioned, Derek, he blends varying moods and genres while still making it all sound original and like his own. I just wish, as I mentioned, or I alluded to at least earlier, I just wish there were a little bit more spontaneity here and there. Some of it felt too perfect. And I don't know, not that it should be flawed, but at times it was just missing some other thinkedness for me. And but overall, a good 4 out of 5, and from what I've read, he is supposedly already working on his second album, so I'm excited to hear that.
Maybe he'll drop a little humanity or other thingedness in this sophomore album to come. All right, there you have it. 4 out of 5 from both Kevin and myself on If Not Now, Then When by Ethan Johns. So go check it out. Thanks again for joining us on last week's album. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on those other social media avenues. And thanks again, and check us out next week. Last week's album, we're talking about good music.
All right. Cheers guys.